everyone, and welcome back to the Unbothered Podcast, where we like to chat about all things the challenge. And we are back for a new main season, season 39 of MTV's The Challenge, Battle for a New Champion. So if you So if you don't know what the theme is, or you haven't caught on at this point, essentially all of the main cast are people who have never won before. They're not necessarily rookies, unless you're like some of us and you have to do more than one season to not be a rookie anymore. If you hear whining in the background, that is my dog. So this season is similar to Invasion of the Champions, except when the champions come back, they're not staying.
Boo.
Yes, but I'm also kind of excited about it.
I'm so excited to see the champions.
Five more days.
I definitely am.
What was that, Caitlin?
5 more days.
Yeah, we get to see CT and Cara Maria.
Yes,
and Darrell.
And Darrell.
Yeah, and Darrell, that's true.
And I think Brad.
And Jordan.
And Jordan.
Wait, is it Brad and his beard? Okay.
Yeah, because I remember seeing the clip of beard. I remember seeing like the shadow of a beard. And he's the only one rocking a beard like that right now.
Yeah.
So new season, all new people. People are new then, since like I said, they've never won. It's kind of divided between like half US players and half international players. So it's almost kind of like a war of the worlds thrown in there, because they're automatically trying to ally with each other based on the country they come from. So we always see how well that seems to work out.
Sure.
The only person there with the most amount of seasons, I think, is Jay with 4. Big T might be Big T's 4th season too. And then
yeah, she's been on
because
a
Big
bunch.
T was on seasons 35, 36, 37. She was not on 38
and 39.
And then this is her 4th one. And I think Jay was same thing. He was on since 35, all but 1. And then followed up after that, it's Michelle and I think Melissa. Everybody else has only done 1 season. I think Chauncey's done 2, but he only lived for like 2 episodes on his 2nd season. So I'm not.
We're gonna get to that.
I'm not sure.
Yes.
I don't know how much that counts. So 24 contestants, 12 guys, 12 ladies. Just as a refresher, you got Big T, Melissa, Michelle, Berna, or what did they call her? Bertha.
I call her Bummer because she is
Bummer, especially this season. Oh my God, we're gonna get into that too.
Yeah.
Colleen, Jessica, I can't ever say her name right. Jujui. Okay. Zara, Olivia, Raven, Nerese, and Mariah. For the guys, you got Corey Lay, Huey, who is one of our personal favorites, Callum, Jay, Chauncey, James, Emmanuel, Asif, Kylan, Ed, Horacio, and I always get this wrong. Kieran.
I think it's Kieran.
I like to pronounce names the way that they're spelled, and my brain wants to call him Kiaran or
he's a little cutie.
He is a cutie. I caught that peeping of him making out with Huey in that preview episode. I was like, oh, don't get him excited. There's going to be 3 sections to the entire season, and obviously you have to get through all 3 to make a final and possibly win. Obviously. In the 2nd section, it looks like will be when we get to see the champs come in as mercenaries. I'm very excited to see how all that plays out, personally. I wonder how many episodes it'll take.
I don't know. We already know Cara gets shit on.
Yeah, we know. Anyway, the first episode.
There was a spoiler.
Welcome to the unbothered ways of doing things.
That's right. My bad.
So for episode 1, which is teamwork makes perfect work, because Asif could not remember the proper saying, which was pretty funny, and they would not
he's cute.
tell him. Yeah, I'm like, just go back to RuPaul's Drag Race. That's what
I love seeing him on there. I'm always like, oh, there he is.
Same. So for episode 1, TJ starts it out by relieving them of the nightmare that they're living in, sleeping on cots in the elimination arena. And then he tells them the winning pot is $300,000, and they're all crickets.
Oh, that
Crickets.
Everyone was like this.
Whew.
I
Right?
could have
That's a lot
stayed
to
home
draw
for
it.
this. I think it was one of the T accounts was like those people looking around like I could have stayed home and did my OnlyFans. Probably 300,000.
No, yeah, they said their OnlyFans for their feet.
Yeah. And they're all just
Didn't
like kind of
Melissa
looking at each other. But
Yeah.
I think
But
TJ
Melissa said something
said,
too.
oh yeah,
Didn't she
Melissa
say something
definitely
Yeah.
like,
did.
yeah, she
They
was like,
all had
"Oh."
they all had a face for it though. Like, really?
Like,
It's like, that's it?
what? Yeah.
I mean,
However,
I would take $300,000
I mean,
for
same.
whatever.
Emmanuel was
Same.
the only one like, that's a lot of money.
Mm.
That's a lot of money. I do like though, from what it sounds like, second and third place will actually get some money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is one of the reasons why the pot has been so high in the past was first place got everything. So, and then he tells them
Yeah.
that through the dailies, they can win additional money to add to that final pot. And it is a one person winner, man
Mhm.
or woman, you get one single winner. No wonder these guys are like, I could have stayed home. Though, like I said, I am glad that second and third will get some money because I hate when they get to the final and they don't have anything to show for it if they finish it. It's
The only thing
deflating.
is, like, you know, if it comes down to that, the guys are going to try to get the girls at first, which we end up seeing. But
every season.
yeah, so yeah,
I know.
Anyway,
I agree. I have that written down somewhere in there. I think our first daily is called Hole Control. It's a full team competition. They basically have to help each other out of a giant mud pit up to the top of a wall, hoist up some metal poles and put them in order to where they spell the challenge, all within a time limit. If they complete it correctly, they get to add $50,000 to that final pot, and then it starts pouring down rain.
okay, but I feel like this one should have been easy, not easy, but completable. Is that a word? Completed. There's no reason whatsoever they should not have had that done. There's no reason.
I
They're
disagree.
idiots.
What?
The reason I don't think it could have been completed is because so many of them wanted to be in charge. Nobody was willing to like step down. And because
Oh
of
no,
that,
no, no. I agree with you on that. But somebody should have. I mean, come on. They do this wall climb thing with people on Survivor. They do it on all these other shows. Like, you couldn't get all the people up there in time to put a puzzle together.
Nah, I still didn't see that. Sorry. As good as they were on Survivor and shows like that, for this, no, because you're working with other people from other shows and you don't know their strengths or anything like that. And it's the first daily and you're working together, it was not going to happen.
Oh yeah, I knew it was going to be a shit show because they all started talking at once.
Yeah.
Kieran
There's too many, what is it, chefs in the kitchen?
Too many chefs in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And not enough patrons. And Kieran tries to take the lead. He's like, oh, I was in the military. We do these exercises all the time. I've got this. And I'm just like, well, I'm sure it is. I doubt it's with 24 people trying to scramble over your shoulders and hoisting metal poles, but maybe I could be wrong.
Well, Berna, you know, she kept trying to interject and say something, but they never let her talk. I want to know what her idea was.
Yeah.
Like, what was her idea? Huh?
In the episode, she was talking so quietly. Like,
She
the way
always
that
does.
it was like so quiet. So I don't even think anybody probably heard her because they were all going back and forth.
But she took offense though.
Yeah.
I need to know where they're finding these German contestants because they are all very soft spoken. And in my German family are very loud. We are all just naturally, like me. I am a naturally loud person. My mother's naturally loud. All my aunts were naturally like, where did y'all? I would be shouting over top of them and start just cussing them out in German, girl. They'll listen to you then. I think she was saying like in her confessional, it was something like they need to like go by the hips up to the shoulders instead of just trying to climb straight on top of the shoulders. Something
well,
about,
we'll find out about climbing in episode 2 as well. So
yes, we will. And I did actually write that Berna is very huffy because people won't listen to her. Personally, I think the biggest dudes should have gone up first to help hoist everybody.
To help pull people up.
Yeah, because why are you going to leave the big guys at the bottom and then you got the shorties trying to like pull these dudes up who have a lower center of mass physics.
Well, even like on Survivor, they usually have one big guy that stays to lift everybody up, and then all the rest of the people haul that person up. Like, it's not rocket science, you
exactly.
know? And they should have just laid all the poles out and looked at them and then put them in there. If they were that heavy, you could roll them around. There's 50 people up there now. Y'all can't swap them out to get this right. I don't know. I just
See,
feel
I was
like
thinking that. I was like, why didn't y'all solve it on the ground first?
Thank you.
That's why they've never made it to a final, because they're like they're all like that. They're all the same. That's why they never made
Good
it to
point. You're right.
I mean, that is a very good point. Like this is why you all make it towards the final, but rarely. I think of everybody on there, the only person who has been to a final is Melissa. And she was pregnant.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Right.
She's the only one who's been to a final. All of them have come kind of close. Well, Zara's been to a final, but
Zara, Zara
in the UK.
Yeah, did Kieran make it to final? Well, we
I
know
don't think I
James
watched
didn't
Australia.
because he was out.
Because his face got fucked up in the
He was
beginning
not
of the
meeting.
UK. Yeah. So I mean, but again, Zara made it to the final on a season with a whole bunch of other rookies. So
True.
This whole daily was a shit show. I was just watching it, and when I watched the second time, I'm like, whose bright fucking idea was it to leave Kieran and Jay at the bottom? Yes, they may be easier to hoist up at the end, but like they had to use 10 dudes to pull up Jay and Kieran. Like, what's happening right now?
There's so many strong guys in there. I feel like some of the strong women could have hoisted them up. I mean, come on.
I agree. Though I'm starting to question how many of ththese men's muscles are actually
they just
like
popcorn muscle?
viable. And we're gonna get into that too, because I have questions for James.
Who was it? Was it Gavo? Gavo muscle.
Yeah, he was like my popcorn muscle. They're just for show.
If we go even further, Derrick Henry.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
He looked like he should be so strong, and that motherfucker couldn't do a damn thing. He couldn't even swing in the right direction.
Well, and we're gonna get to that too, but I feel like Chauncey's kind of.
Uh-oh.
Honestly, hey, I'm just throwing it out there.
Okay.
So in the daily, the guys do not get everybody out until like there's 40 seconds left. The women are screeching and scrambling to put these poles in. As soon as one gets put in, it gets pulled right back the fuck out. Needless to say, they lose. They got all the people out, but they did not solve the puzzle. So there goes 50K. Bye. And then they run to their new dwellings, the new house, and they do backflips in the bedrooms, and they're scrambling to pick bedrooms. And clearly none of these people know how bedroom politics work because they're all bunking with their besties.
Yep.
And we know you're not supposed to do that because that's how you allow people to know who your alliances are. But all of these people are allied with everybody.
Yeah, everybody's like very well,
like
at
it's
first.
like the Brady Bunch.
At first. Yeah.
Like Jay's like, oh, I'm allied with all the USA people, but I also really love Asaph, and then I'm cool with Kieran, and then I like Huey, and then I'm with Big T. And I'm like, it is literally episode 1. You are allied with the entire fucking house. And as we see very quickly, it breaks down very fast.
Yeah.
Welcome to the challenge.
Welcome to the challenge. Y'all gonna figure this out eventually. You will figure it out. Berna's crying in her bed. I don't like who I'm rooming with. I wanted to be with Michelle. I am very, very sad right now.
She was so
crying
annoying
in the corner. And I'm like, are you forced crying? And then Corey was like, are you going to sleep right now? He's like, I just want to be in my bed. Just be in my bed.
As Frankie says, she's a weirdo.
She's she's definitely a drama queen. She's very quiet about it. And I'm like, your room is literally for sleeping. Like nobody stays in their room anyway.
Right.
Like
Right.
it's okay. It's just a place to lay your head. And like even eventually like Colleen tries to, talk to her, and even she seems exasperated with Berna. Oh, no, I don't want to hear your advice, Colleen. I just want to vent. Just sit here and shut up and listen. And Colleen's just like,
I would
Okay.
have gotten up and walked away.
okay, like Huey does later.
Yeah.
Berna, I think you're just doing this all wrong. I'm leaving. Goodbye.
I think. I love that.
I love him so much. So they have to go into their first deliberation and decide who they're going to vote for. It can be men or women. The men, of course, immediately start scheming to put a woman in, and for some reason the women just, with the exception of like two who say something, just go along with it.
Right.
Per usual. I'm like, God damn it, every fucking season it is always like this.
That
And
deliberation, the whole time I was thinking, okay, why do you guys keep saying, oh, we crushed it, y'all barely got over
Right. Exactly.
barely.
You didn't
and
win
y'all
shit.
You crushed it. You didn't crush anything.
Yeah.
Like, shut up. I
thought the same thing. I was like, is that crushing it when you get it right down to the wire and barely make it?
And you don't even actually win the whole thing?
Right. That's not
so
crushing.
What did we crush? Egos? Yes, I think so. Expectations? Yes, they are now lower.
That's why when the women, like the two that actually spoke up, were like, no, y'all messed up too. It's like, one of us won.
Yes.
And I'm like, exactly. Thank you. Acknowledge it.
I agree with you. So they're all scheming. The women are wanting to nominate a woman without even thinking about the possible elimination layout. Like, y'all don't even know if there's a twist. Clearly, most of you are still fucking rookies because you are playing this like you've never been here before. Byrne is upset that the men are considering her name, and then she tells Huey he's too loud. You're screaming at me, Huey. You're being too loud. And he was like, I'm just trying to talk to you, Byrne.
Literally just talking.
He's just talking. He's always loud. He's just naturally loud.
Always loud.
Yeah.
To be fair, he was normal. Like his tone was normal. He
wasn't totally normal.
He's just naturally
everything
like
about
a little loud.
Yeah, everything about Huey is just a little bit larger than life. But
yeah,
it's not
just animated.
He wasn't.
Yeah. He was being normal. He wasn't like upset, or he wasn't like going off the rails.
She was ridiculous. She was ridiculous. Let's be real. It was all her, not him.
She starts crying again. He's just like, fuck you, Berna, and walks out.
Wow, that was so good.
I was like, yeah.
Closes the door. I'm not playing these games with her anymore. She's like, Huey, you're being too loud. You're being too loud.
I love Huey.
Quiet, stop shouting at me. I'm very, very fragile. That's the best I can do for a German accent, which is sad because I grew up with a mother who had one.
You should do the whole like scene with Berna and Huey. And
I'm gonna have next time she like does a scene like that with Huey, I'm gonna like write down everything they say, and then I'm gonna have to get a really dark wig. And I'm gonna come on here and I'm gonna do like the left and right. Huey, you're yelling at me. Berna, this is the normal volume of me voice. Blah 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 blah.
That would be awesome.
I'm gonna put it on TikTok. We'll see how it goes. So like I said, they continue to bicker. Huey storms out. Michelle starts falling for Callum's bullshit because she's an idiot. Like, he doesn't even lie well. How many times did you have to ask him, are you involved with somebody or a relationship, for him to finally kind of say no?
Right.
I mean, I'm not surprised. She hooked up with Fessy for free tickets to Harry Potter World at Universal Studios. So we have low standards. Michelle does not have super high standards. And then I like how it immediately cuts to Callum in the phone room calling his girlfriend.
Okay, so
I love you.
This is sort of an aside. I posted, there was a clip from Zach Nichols' podcast, which is actually really great. If anybody hasn't watched it, like he's awesome. They were talking about Michelle, where she had made some comment like she doesn't have good taste or good choices in men, and they were making fun of Callum because they were like, if you have like face and neck tattoos or whatever, y'all should see it. I posted it on our page. It's so funny. She has no
I'm gonna
standards,
go back.
is what it was.
She doesn't. I'm gonna have to go back and
Yeah.
watch.
It's
I
hilarious.
mean, you took Amanda sloppy seconds just to get free
Yeah.
access to Harry
You can
Potter
edit
World.
all
Like,
that out,
girl.
by the way.
Oh no,
It's
staying.
so funny.
So then people can go and look at that video if they want to as well.
Yeah.
So I wonder how long it's going to take before this bites them in the ass. I mean, Michelle knows now. If she didn't know before,
Yeah.
her and the girlfriend now know. The guys spend more time deliberating against a female nominee. I roll my eyes. And then Big T is like trying to do her thing because she wants to be a guy nominee. I think she is being too vocal with her game plans because she is literally talking about them with everybody.
Yeah. The thing is she's smart.
She is.
Just needs to keep it a little bit on the down low. I've seen a lot of hate for her this season so far, even though it's 2 episodes in. And they're like, oh, she's too big for her britches, and I don't like her attitude this season. She's just Big T.
She's
like,
I find that odd too, because Big T normally is playing other people's games, at least.
Yeah.
On some level. But this season she gets to play her own. You know what I mean?
And she's always been a social player. I mean, I haven't seen her say anything like, they need to listen to me. I'm the only one who knows what I'm talking about. Like, like she hasn't done or said any of that. And there's nothing wrong with her trying to rally the women to be like, we should not allow them to make us the nomination because we're going to lose a number and this could bite us in the ass later. And the only person who seems to understand what she's saying is Nerys. She's the only one on the same page as Big T. The rest of them are like, well, Jessica said, blah. We don't care about Jessica. And then there's Raven.
Yeah.
Who I think is being a little bit of a pick-me in this episode.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Just a little bit. And
I'm on the
I
fence.
don't care for her. I can't pinpoint what it is that I don't like about her. She's beautiful.
Oh yeah.
But there is something about her that just rubs me the wrong way. I can't pinpoint exactly what it is.
Yeah. I don't think she knows what she's doing.
Yeah. Well, we'll see that in the second episode too.
Yeah. So they actually get together to deliberate as a group, which I think is always exciting because this big of a group, it's immediately going to turn into a shit show.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Callum makes me too. I love it
drama.
because I like watching them bicker. Callum for some reason makes himself the spokesperson for the penises and yet cannot actually say the guys want to vote for a woman. He's just like and they're like, bro, just fucking spit it out. Find your balls and spit it out. He's like, they're gonna eat me alive. Yes they will.
Yes they are.
I agree. And then, Nerys is like, well, I don't know why it has to be a woman. Like, the guys are the one who came up with the game plan. And Corey's like, well, did you something? Like, well, did anybody else suggest something? And I love Corey Lay. I don't know why, I just do. But if I was Nerys, I'd have been like, we tried, and you motherfuckers wouldn't shut up long enough for us to raise the volume and actually be heard. You just shut us out. Like you all tend to do every goddamn season. But she gets kind of flustered. The men are just being pussies in this episode. Like, you should want to get rid of your heavy male competition. I don't know. If I was a woman, get rid of the female competition.
Yeah.
Get rid of them. I don't want to see him come final time. But it's just me. And then Berna uses the deliberation to apologize for her behavior. I am so sorry. I was just upset and in my feelings. I apologize. I am working on it. No, you're not. This is going to happen again. She's just trying to save her ass from getting thrown into nomination. So
yeah,
we get to the arena. They have to line up and one after the other has to say a name. And per usual, whomever starts it off, everybody usually follows. And everybody says Jessica because she made some speech about how she didn't even want the money. I don't care about the money. I'm just going to give it to my mom. Give away to charity. And I'm like, bro, why the fuck would you say that in episode 1?
Yeah.
Episode
She
1.
dug her own grave. I like that they have to say a person though out loud.
Yes.
As opposed to the last one where it was like anonymous. I kind of like anonymous too because we get to see who's lying. But when you have to put it right there in their face, I love
You gotta
that.
find your balls.
As we see Horacio.
I'm like, my dude, the first episode is not the episode to stand out from the crowd.
Yeah.
Big T. Why? There are literally 20 other votes for Jessica.
Yeah.
And like, I get it. He is a very like honorable person. This show does not award honorability like that. You gotta save that for later.
When he said her name and she was like, I don't find him hot anymore.
That was funny.
I was like, that was
I'm
so
no
cute.
longer attracted to him. Oh, I love her.
I do too.
Saying that there was a fight between Jay and Chauncey, and I guess Jessica got in the middle of it and was defending somebody. That's why they threw her in. It wasn't for the deliberation, apparently.
Right, and I read that too, and we didn't see any of that. Yeah.
The edit. Why?
Yeah.
I hate you.
Because, and honestly, with the edit, the way her little speech would have made perfect sense, but then we found out there was this whole other like ordeal that we didn't get to see. So, yeah.
Fucking edits. You already make the episode an hour and a half. Can you leave the good stuff in that makes sense?
Leave the good stuff. We can handle it.
Agree.
Yeah.
So Jessica is now automatically in the elimination, and TJ says the twist is you can pick any other woman up here. No one is safe. Whomever you want to pick. She picks Big T.
Yeah.
And this elimination is unless it was edited this way, is probably the quickest. And it was lame. It was lame.
Yeah.
It was literally who could toss the tiles out of the box the fastest was all it came down to.
And then pull a rope.
And pull the rope, grab the hammer, because it just takes one hit to knock the bottom out. It's not like they had to hammer through a few levels.
Right. Yeah, she broke through like immediately. But
exactly.
Yeah.
It was a much tamer version of the one that Timmy and Abe
where they're in the levels.
Yeah. Which I get why they probably don't want to do levels because they had like glass shards in their kneecaps for years. But it was just I was like on the elimination.
Yeah.
It was not
but good
enticing.
for Big T. She won.
Yeah,
so.
Big T won. Goodbye, Jessica. Yay, Big T. Woo! So that was episode 1. How did we enjoy the episode premiere of the season?
It was good. It just looked like Jessica didn't even try. Like with the deliberation and then the elimination, she's like, "Oh, I want to be here," but she wasn't even trying.
Agree.
Totally agree. The tiles out and like she didn't even try. Like I don't even know why she even went if she wasn't gonna try. Like it was just kind of like a waste of space for somebody else.
Camera time. She got on camera. That's all.
Yeah, I liked it. Could it have been better? In my opinion, yes. And I think it's just the elimination that could have been a little better. The deliberation was fun to watch, though. Despite Jessica kind of digging her grave.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was cringing when that was happening because I'm like, no. You're making it worse. Target.
I agree. And I could tell that like she was like really like talking herself out of the whole thing. Like just the season in general. She kept like making comments about how, oh, I have a small stature. And I'm like, I think half of the other females are as big as you are.
I just think her head and her heart wasn't in it at all.
Yeah. She was somewhere else. So yeah. I think she was probably fine with going home. Other than the elimination, I thought it was a good first episode. I would have liked a different type of elimination, but whatever. We're gonna jump right into episode 2 because we're gonna recap both on this.
Y'all keep talking, I'll be right back.
Okay. So episode 2 is titled 2 Lungs, 1 Heart, Can't Lose. I don't know where the fuck that came from. Did somebody say that in the episode and I missed it?
Not that I remember. I just remember seeing it. I'm like, why is it so long? But
yeah, I actually wrote that in my notes. Who the fuck is in charge of these episode titles? They should be short, sweet, not a mouthful.
Maybe it was just titled from the elimination, like with all the commentary from the end of the episode. You know, if you
Then
think
it should
about
have been, are you entertained?
yes,
I
that would have
like
been
that. That's so
See?
much better.
Production.
Nick,
You
production.
can hire me. I'm
I'm back.
full of good ideas. I promise. I'm full of really good ideas. Yeah, so I have officially renamed the second episode to Are You Entertained? Because that is a way better title than Too Long's One Heart Can't Lose.
Like, why?
Even the first one was kind of dumb though. Even though I know
Yeah.
Asif said that, it was like whatever.
Yeah, I agree. So just hire me. I will handle naming the episodes. It's fine. It's not a problem. We're good. Just, pay me a little bit. Anyway, so it starts off with them returning to the house. Big T is a winner. She's like, yes, I won. The easiest elimination ever. In fact, I would like that same style of elimination if I'm ever on the show. Please and thank
Sure.
you. I'll take that one. Jay and Chauncey have a little powwow. Chauncey does not believe any of the bullshit coming out of Jay's mouth. And I don't necessarily blame him. But apparently he's not doing a great job of keeping those feelings under wraps.
I don't think Chauncey, I don't think he's very smart, but I think he did read Jay perfectly. So
yes. I don't think Jay is the political player he wants to be.
he thinks he is, right? Yeah.
He thinks it, but he's not doing a great job.
Yeah. I agree.
And then, Huey and Olivia chat about their lives coming from small town communities.
That
and
was
once
sweet.
again,
I like
it was
that.
sweet.
I like
I
that.
love Huey. His
I love
accent gives me money.
Olivia.
I like Olivia too. I like how he's like, "Are you going to take me to Alaska?" And she's like, "Yeah, sure." And I'm like, "Did you tell him you live in Arizona now, where it's hot and dry and overpopulated?" Oh my God, could you imagine Huey in like Alaska trying to like ice fish or something? I don't
No.
know. It's just very humorous to me. He sees a
That'd be good
moose for the
TV.
first time. What the fuck is that?
Well, while we're talking, I'm trying to look up the when we get to it, okay, here they are. The tweets from like Raven and Michelle and Chauncey.
Oh
Ooh.
yeah,
So
we're gonna get
when we
into
get
those,
to
yeah.
it, I'll read those.
Okay.
Y'all couldn't
Okay,
see
cool.
that. That was totally blank, but whatever.
It's
We'll
okay.
get to that. Yeah.
So we pivot from Huey and Olivia to Kylan fangirling over Melissa.
I don't blame him.
He's feeling her. I mean, I don't blame him either. She's gorgeous. And she's doing what she does best.
He's gorgeous. They look so hot together. I love it. Not quite as hot as Nerys and Horacio.
No, that should just not be allowed. Okay.
So,
so Melissa's doing what she does best, which is politicking.
Yeah.
Which I don't blame her. Good for you, girl. And then we get to a new daily. I also just want to make a comment. Ed's confessional. Look. What the fuck is up with his hair? That did not look like that in February when I met him. Like, he looks like he's going for the scrunch look of the early 2000s.
I forgot you met him.
Yes.
How was he?
He is lovely in person. I told him we all consider him the golden retriever of the challenge.
Oh,
he was
I do like him.
Thank you. And I said, that's a compliment. I love Ed.
I do too.
I love hearing his accent because it's, it's from this type of area.
Conshohocken.
I'm Ed and I'm a mechanical engineer and I'm from Conshohocken, Pennsylvania. Go Birds.
I would like to get his brother Mitch on. That would be awesome.
I would like for him to be on the challenge. I think he would do really well. If they ever do another Bloodlines, you have to have those two together. I mean,
for sure.
Oh my God, for sure.
Yeah.
And they might actually do really well. Because Ed's really smart and Mitch is, and he's clearly actually in shape.
Oh yeah.
Like his muscles actually function for their purpose, as we saw when he pulled himself up that wall in the last episode. I just don't know who told him that the Jersey cheetah look was a good idea for his confessional. Maybe him and Corey, I don't know, maybe he went through Corey Lee's closet. Because it's very similar. And
That's true. Maybe they are sharing.
It's which would be hilarious because Ed is shorter than I am, and Corey Lay is taller. He is over 6 feet tall.
Corey Lay
So I
is
don't know how
very tall.
yeah, Corey
Yeah.
is tall. Ed is on the shorter side. He's like 5'7". So
Yeah.
More than Ed.
either way, I still love Ed. I love, even though we're not getting a lot of him on camera, I think he's probably got like the most confessionals at this point. He's just
Yeah.
like narrating the whole season for us, which is fine
love
with
it.
me because he's great. So in this new daily, they have another opportunity to add 50K to the final pot. We'll see how they fuck this one up. It is called ball control. Essentially, it is a heights over water. They have to make a human ladder up a rope, stick a ball with their name on it down a chute.
It was
Once
very
again,
it was a very weird challenge.
weird.
Weird.
And who okay, this is where I have the notes of these people are idiots. Okay. So Kieran once again tries to take the lead. I was in the military. I know how this works. I'm gonna tell him what to do. And I'm like, bro, that didn't work the last time.
Because in the military, you crawled over each other and threw balls in a hoop. What?
Yeah.
Wait.
Right.
Okay.
I was like, I can do a human ladder. Okay. This is a shit show. Everyone's talking at once. I wrote Huey and his big booty is off to the side like this is not gonna go well. I agree. Somebody did a trick flip jumping off the platform like a show
who
off.
was
It's
that?
probably Emmanuel.
It made me think of
Probably.
Jordan, so it makes sense.
Yeah, it's probably Emmanuel. I'm like, you won't break your neck one of these days. And as I'm watching this, I'm like, do these people not understand physics? Like, why are the shortest people swimming for the balls? Unless those are the only good swimmers you have, but you have the tiniest people who have the shortest wingspan to swim to go get these balls. And then you're putting women at the bottom of the human ladder.
That made no sense.
Fuck looked at Olivia and James and said, you know what?
Olivia.
Olivia can hold up James's big ass.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah,
like,
I mean, she's a badass, but she's not gonna hold up some dude that's like twice her size. I mean,
Right.
I don't know. I don't get
who's
that.
built like a shit brick house. Like, again, the big guy should be on the bottom.
Absolutely. And then Horacio, poor guy, is drowning
I was
on
like,
his
why? I was
side.
like, what? No, I couldn't understand that. I'm like, why is Horacio at the bottom?
Well,
Why?
Why was anything done the way it was done? None of it made any sense.
None of it made
I was like,
sense.
what is wrong with them?
One side, only one of the two ladders ever completed their human ladder, and they're the only ones that got 3 balls up there, almost 4, but Melissa fucking froze at the last minute.
I was surprised.
Dude, you know what? If you're clipped in, that's one thing, but she had to unclip for them to pull her over, and I probably would.
Oh, is that what happened?
Well, I mean, how else are they going to get her over there? You're holding up, all these other people are attached to it. I don't know if I would do it either. I probably would freak out. I'm afraid of heights, though. So
Same.
it actually gave me anxiety. I felt really bad for her because I was just like, oh, I couldn't unclip and have them pull me. I wouldn't trust them.
That's true.
I mean,
too.
after
don't know
the
if I
first
trust them.
episode, I don't blame you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same. I don't blame you either. So they only get 3 balls in. Colleen, Michelle, and Zara are the only 3 that get their balls in. So they only win $6,000 on this daily because it was $2K per ball. And TJ said, if you finish them all, I'll give you an extra 10.
Yeah.
Or 6 or whatever to make it 50K.
Didn't even get close.
Yep. I was like, this should definitely be a men's elimination because y'all are the ones that fucked it all up. Chauncey couldn't clip himself. People were just flailing like floppy fish.
So yeah, okay, that's why I said that earlier about Chauncey. There's no reason he shouldn't have been able to hold himself up with his muscles and clip himself in. No reason, unless he has popcorn muscles. So yeah, I don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
probably.
Like
Probably.
Nerys, I can understand that. But did y'all notice when they were taking her off there? Man, she flew. Like they flew, like flung.
They were like,
what was it?
push.
What did people used to say? They yeeted her off that.
Yes,
she
got yeeted off that ladder.
but to be fair, they did tell her, okay, we're just gonna push you off. And then
no, I know,
right?
but she.
Oh, they
got
pushed
flung.
her.
Yeah, they pushed all right. I was like,
Someone
got
pushed her. And they were
flung.
like, bye.
Yeah.
Bye. Again, put the women at the top.
Yeah, I don't
If you
know. It
have
made no
to.
sense.
Obviously that's why that side never completed their ladder.
Yeah.
So back at the house, no one wants to actually name a person. They're going back and forth. More deliberation between small groups. Chauncey and Huey's names are being tossed around the most. Corey is so messy. I love him though.
Yeah.
He is such a Leo. Oh my God, it's awful. I don't know if I could be on a challenge with him. I'd be like, you're so fucking messy and dramatic. You're ruining everything. Chill out. And then he would argue with
But
me.
I love you too.
Right.
That's what you
But
would
I
say.
love you at the same time.
Right.
Which is true. I do. Jay is once again showing he is allied with way too many people.
Yeah.
And then like, you know, we get to like some fluffier scenes, and I did make a comment. I love how the non-US guys are so comfortable with showing off everything they're made of. Like James just like standing there in his tidy whities on display.
I think
that's just them.
I think that's just in general anyone against,
especially in the UK, I feel like.
Yeah. They're
UK
they're just
guys.
very comfortable. The US are prudes.
Yeah, because the
So,
UK guys are also like way more chill about like Huey and like joking around with him and stuff like that. Like even if they don't swing that way, whereas like you wouldn't
right.
find that as much with the US guys. Oh, I'm not gay. Don't talk to me like that. And it's like, bro, chill
Right.
out. It's all right. Like chill. But I was just like, when that scene popped up with James, I went like this. Oh, hello. Hello, governor. How are you?
I think we all did that. Oh, hello.
Watch out, bananas. Anyway. Oh, and that's kind of like ties into what Olivia said when the human ladder thing. You know, when I imagined James on top of me or above me, this was not how I thought of it. And then she was like, did I just say that out loud? Yes, you did. And it's okay.
I love that he says Huey keeps him sane.
Yes. He's
love
like he drives me at a wall. He's so annoying, but I love him. He keeps my spirits high.
That was cute.
And I'm like,
I like
you know
that.
what? That's a good reason to keep somebody around. Like, plus, I mean, James probably is not seeing Huey as competition, which after James's performance in that elimination, he should not disregard anybody as competition.
And he gassed.
Oh my God. How do you get that buff and have no endurance? I have questions. I didn't know that was possible.
Oh, it is.
Apparently it is. I mean, I probably have as much endurance as him, and I'm fat. So I have questions. I have a lot of questions.
Well, he clearly just works out with weights and not, you know.
I guess he must be missing
like
leg
you said,
day
endurance.
too.
He doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah. He's just, all this is just, whoa. Can you imagine having sex with somebody like that? Doesn't have any endurance.
You do not just go there.
Like, do you have to do all the work? Oh, babe, I'm running out of breath. Can you flip over? What's wrong with me? Oh my God.
Now we have to interview this guy.
Interview James. James, I have questions. I know you're on X on the beach. Is this why?
Oh my gosh.
Okay, back to the episode. We get club time, and everybody at the club is talking about the game. They're all politically strategizing, Ravens, you know, talking to Chauncey about Team USA. And I like how Berna says, maybe loyalty means different in my country. I don't think Americans know about loyalty. Girl, your German fellow castmate literally won the mole. Do you know what that show is?
Right. Right.
You're lying and disloyal. I'm like, Berna, please sit down. Stop talking. Go back to your bedroom and cry. No one wants to talk to me anymore. Huey is starting to spiral a little bit. Everybody is going into anxiety-induced madness. It is the second episode.
It's true.
They're losing their minds. And I'm like, you were on episode 2. Y'all got a long way to go.
Got a long way to go.
A long way to go. This is not like the UK where you filmed for 10 days.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
the queen died. You know, you got a long fucking way to go. And then Kylan and Melissa are like, you know, getting cozy. And then everyone does what they always do. And they're like, kiss, kiss, kiss. And Kylan's like, I don't feel comfortable.
Okay.
So we're
I
going to
want
talk
to talk
about
about
this
this
now.
for a second.
Yeah.
I don't even watch Big Brother, and I knew he was autistic, and I knew that would make him uncomfortable. How come no one else knew that? Like,
Because people are.
is it just because I think he's hot and I follow him on Instagram, so I already knew? But how did no one know that?
Emotional intelligence does not run high amongst many of these people.
True.
That would involve them having to be aware of other people
Yeah.
instead of just being only like self-centered on themselves.
True.
And
True.
Melissa obviously didn't know, so she has a Melissa meltdown.
Yeah.
You're embarrassing me. That was embarrassing. Do you know how many men would want to have kissed me? And and he's like, that's great. I am autistic. And she's like, what?
Yeah.
Wait, what? And like, you know, for those of you who don't know, Big T like put something on social media where it said her and Mel were not going to be on social media for a couple of days because they were anticipating backlash. I don't personally, I mean, again, who knows about editing? It doesn't look like Big T was even involved. She just happened to be sitting in between them at one point, and she quietly got up and walked away once Melissa and Kylan were having that like more in-depth, intimate conversation.
Yeah, I didn't see anything wrong with the way they handled it.
No.
If they didn't know, then you know he tells you, and you move on from there, and it's fine.
And
I
they
mean, even
clearly
if
made
he,
up.
yeah, even if he wasn't autistic, there are some people that just aren't into PDA. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Like I'm not into that. You
yeah,
know,
I'm not gonna.
I
I
don't
don't
want
want to
people
get in
staring
front
at
of
me while I'm
20
swatting my
something
spit.
people and make out. Like,
Yeah, same. I don't need to be
Anyway,
worried about how I look while I'm kissing somebody. Like it's just awkward. But now that that's out in the open, hopefully, you know, that's not something that they have to really try to navigate again. And hopefully this is a good learning experience, especially for Melissa. So she can be like, okay, if I'm going to have a relationship with this person, social cues are going to be a little bit different for them. And I need to learn what their boundaries are because we're all different. So I like that they kept that in there. I do like that part. And then it goes from the club, and then we cut to Olivia and Nerys talks about how her and Olivia are such best friends. And this feels very foreshadowy in a very bad way.
Yep.
Which, spoiler alert, apparently, they do not remain best friends. We're not sure what happens.
Like at all. Right.
I wonder if it's anything to do with Horacio.
That's what I think. Yeah. I mean, we may find out it was something completely different, but I mean,
like what the fuck changed? I'm curious if they're gonna play it out. They have to, because I don't think they would have kept in the whole, oh my god, we're best friends, we talk every day, like we love each other. I feel like they wouldn't keep that in there, knowing like the little bit we know now, if they weren't going to show the unraveling.
I follow both of them. I don't recall seeing really any pictures of them together hanging out all that much, though. Was it just me missing that?
I think it was like lives and stuff. And I can say,
maybe
when I went to the Challenge Mania in Philly back at the end of February, they were, and this was before they filmed season 39. The way Olivia spoke, they were still really good friends. Like she was like, Nerys is my girl. It was Mariah she wasn't fucking with. But her and Nerys were like still really cool and like blah blah blah. But again, that was before they went off to film 39. So I don't know if something happened during 39 or right after. And I hope we find out.
Yeah, same. Just to kind of get back, well, never mind. Go ahead and finish, and then we'll talk about the Raven, Nerys, Olivia, Jay, whatever fiasco.
Oh. Yeah, so I just have that after the foreshadowing, they talk about Raven coming off as desperate. it like cuts to Kieran talking with James on possible options, and that's when James says, he wants to keep Huey there. He's good energy, keeps his spirits up. And can I just tell you, every time I'm watching, especially the non-US people, I think all of them have fake teeth.
Teeth?
Their teeth. I think they're
Is-
all fucking like
Oh, they
the
do.
chiclet teeth.
Oh, they do. Look at Emmanuel. He
Oh
had
yeah.
creepy
Emmanuel
teeth
definitely got his teeth.
before,
Yeah.
and then he got his teeth done, and they're still creepy. So now I don't know if I find him creepy because of his teeth, or if there's just all the other stuff around the teeth that creeps me out too. He creeps me out. I don't know what it is. It's the weird little mustache.
Because he
and
looks like Vladimir the Impaler.
I don't know.
Reincarnated.
I don't care for him. I don't like. It's so mean and so judgy. And I'm sorry to anyone. I apologize if that offends you. I just find him creepy. Everything about him creeps me out.
I think
I even
like
feel like he smells weird. Like I think he smells bad.
he smells bad.
I think so. He looks like he smells weird.
I think it's his eyes. Like it just feels like he's boring into your soul.
They're soulless. They're just nothing there. They're just like black and just like he has
And
no
he's got
soul.
like the smile with the little like villain mustache.
A little weird mustache. I think he's a demon.
A
Maybe
demon.
that's what it is. We're gonna interview him next, and I'm gonna have to be like, I'm sorry.
And he's gonna be like, it's very offensive in my country of Romania.
His eyes are soulless, though. You cannot deny that. I would tell him that. You have soulless eyes.
Sorry.
Anyway.
But
Any
with
duties.
Emmanuel, I will say this though.
What?
He's actually been pretty decent in the 2 episodes in terms of like competition. Like the
Oh,
way he climbed up the rope and stuff like that.
I
He
don't
put an
take
effort
anything
into
away
it.
from his like prowess, like the
Oh yeah,
challenge.
he's
I think he's
definitely good at this.
He's
Yeah.
a dancer, so they're very slim but strong, and
High
obviously they know how to move well. Endurance, yeah. So that's always going to be a bonus. I just find I don't know, he creeps me out. Anyway,
Just saying. I just had to put that out there. I'm like, he is
Yeah.
better from what I've seen.
As a competitor, I mean, even on his first season, he was a really good competitor.
he was really
we all
good.
jokingly called him the Walmart Jordan, but he performs like Jordan. He's just a little bit taller. And I think he has a lot of that drive because he does come from culturally a country where it's a little bit more. I mean, we've seen like the family, not family, the like neighborhood he comes from, and like the kinds of things that they do on a day-to-day basis. Like they still fucking catch their own chickens and stuff like that. So he, I think, has that really raw drive to be successful because he doesn't come from the same kind of privileges that maybe some of the other competitors have came from for most of their life.
Yeah.
So I think it's a little bit of that too.
So and he could be a perfectly lovely person. I don't know.
It's just his eyeballs. and now and maybe
old
his teeth. His old teeth. Maybe even the new teeth.
Maybe the new teeth. Back to what you were saying though. Yes, I do feel like British people have no qualms whatsoever about plastic surgery, lip filler, veneers, Huey, butt implants, hair implants. He's got his lips done. They don't mind that stuff. They like
Man
it.
or
They
woman.
don't hide it. Man or women. They just
I mean, look at Kyle.
go for it. Yeah, right.
Kyle
exactly.
changed his fucking
Totally
face.
different person.
He gave himself a beard.
Yep.
He got hair plugs. I think he got calf implants.
He looks amazing. I thought he was good looking before, but he looks great.
Me too.
So yeah.
Agreed.
No,
So back
no
into-
shade on all that. Good for them.
not
They
at
don't
all.
hide it like Americans do.
Yeah, just
They're like,
some of them go
I
a
just
little
went on a
overboard.
diet and they're on Ozempic, or they're like, oh no, my lips
They're like,
were
no,
naturally
I got my fat
big," and
sucked
they're
out of my ass. I'm like, all right. At least you're honest, like I got my fat
Right.
sucked out me front and put it in the ass. Thank you for your honesty. I just work out really well. Oh, really? For the first time in 20 years? Okay.
Yeah, that's what Americans do. They lie about it.
Look at all the
UK
Bravo
people
celebrities.
are no,
They're just like, yeah, I did this, and yep, I agree. I totally agree. So in the episode, it cuts back to Chauncey chatting with Jay, Coriel, Mariah, and Ed, and tells them he is Team US all the way, and even if he's voted in, he will pick a non-US person. They're all like, we don't know if we trust him, but all right. And they're trying to basically convince him that it would be better for him if he gets nominated in there because he can control who he goes against. And Chauncey's like,
Right.
nah.
Fuck that.
And I would be like, nah, because I don't get to choose the game I get to play against them.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I get what the fuck I get. I hope they don't want to go against me because of what I can bring to the table. So they're just not really good at this. They're trying to soften the blow. They're basically telling him, you're probably going to be fucked. It's either going to be you or Huey.
Right.
It's leaning towards you because most people like Huey and they want to keep him around for a little bit. So then they get to the actual deliberation. Huey speaks up immediately. He's like, can we just confirm it's a men's day? I don't really give a fuck if y'all want to put me in there. I didn't come here for a vacation. Like, you can underestimate me all you want. I know what I came here for. I know what I'm aiming for. If you want to put me in, great.
I was actually cheering Huey. I
Me
was
too.
like, yeah, that's right.
Like, that's the way to
Love
get in
it.
front of it. Like, you guys can think
Yeah.
whatever you want. If you want to put me in, but I will come swinging. You know, and like even Jay said in a confessional, like, you can't underestimate Huey because he
Right.
is a solidly built guy, and he does come from a background where they are fighters. Like, they've
Right.
always had to fight against the norm. They've always like been pushed to the outskirts. A lot of times that line of work that travelers do is very labor intensive. So he is not new to having to work for what you
Right.
want, and they would be wise to remember that.
And Callum actually also pointed this out too, where he was like,
Yeah.
that speech was great. It was like a Braveheart type speech, you know?
Yeah, I feel
Right.
like I'm in
That's probably
Braveheart
gonna
right
get you
now.
out. Yeah. I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, I agree with that. Like, that's
I
the
agree.
way to do
And then there's Chauncey.
it. Chauncey.
Ah,
Ay.
the guy
Did I
just
ever wrong
doesn't-
you? Actually, yes, you voted for me last season. Fuck, Michelle, did I ever wrong you? Actually, yes.
I was like,
That
Chauncey,
was
why'd you
that
say
was
that?
really cringy and sad.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
We thought Jessica's was bad. I think his was worse.
Oh, it was 100 times worse. He just yeah. You know what? Sometimes you just gotta suck it up and go, you know what? I'm gonna go in regardless of what I say.
Mm-hmm.
Don't try to it was
No,
bad.
What
It was
he
bad.
should have done was he should have been like, I've heard my name being floated around. That's fine. If y'all want to put me in there, cool. However, I will tell you, guys that are not US, I'm going to be picking one of you. So just, keep that in
Right.
mind.
Right.
And then let them kind of sit back and go, oh, fuck, do we want to take that chance?
Well, and I thought it was interesting too, because I think it was Kylan that said, what if he can only pick from the people that voted for him? And then the UK people are like, we're just going to vote for random people, blah, 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 all over the place. So I thought that was interesting. Of course,
Yeah,
that
I
wasn't
agree.
the way it was. He could do for anyone, but yeah.
It made me
Mhm.
think too. I was like, is he foreshadowing something? Like, Kylan, are you thinking 10 steps ahead? Because everybody else is kind of just stuck in
I think
this
Kylan is
little
very
bubble.
smart. I think
He's very
very
smart.
smart.
And I think
Yeah.
he's watched this show before.
And he's really good looking. So
Yeah. Well, no,
we're
I
just gonna
know
throw
he's
that out
watched
there.
past seasons because he said he had just finished Total Madness before filming
Yeah.
season 39. That's how he knew who Melissa was. So I think, if there's any of them who have watched previous seasons and actually pay attention, they're smart to be like, I don't think it's going to stay this way. How many seasons has it been that there hasn't been a twist somewhere at least a few episodes in? So
I know we
Kylan
talked
is
about
smart.
this in previous seasons. It blows my mind how many people go on the show and don't watch prior seasons.
Mhm.
At
I
least
feel like
the
I would
last
research
couple.
everything. Right. I would research everything.
I agree.
Yeah.
So Chauncey digs his own grave. That's pretty much what happens. They all leave deliberation to go back to the house because I think they make their vote the next day. Raven automatically is off blabbing to Kieran about Chauncey being the vote, most likely, at least amongst the women. Nobody in this house knows how to keep their cards close to their chest. Like
No,
they're immediately
one
bouncing
person.
from one person to the next. It's just like fucking word vomit all over the place. Oh, so they told me A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, and P. And then somehow the US finds out about it immediately. And then
Right.
they have the power to be like, do you know Raven just went off and told Kieran that we're going to be devoting a Chauncey? We can't trust her.
Yeah.
They're all way too trusting. That bitch. Like, none of you know how to keep your mouth shut. None of them.
So
And I'm loving
this
it.
brings me
It's messy. I
to
love this.
Raven tweeted, Olivia and Nerys are haters because, or no, I'm sorry, somebody tweeted this. Olivia and Nerys are haters because Raven doesn't want to follow the group. She's desperate, question mark. I don't think I didn't consider Nerys and Olivia haters for that. I think Raven should have kept her mouth shut, or even if she wanted to out, she should have been more upfront about it. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah?
agree.
No?
And I think
Yeah.
part of Olivia and Neresa's feelings toward Raven, even if they don't want to admit it, it stems from season 38.
Oh, from what, Johnny?
Yeah, the contention they had on their previous season together,
Yeah.
I don't think they ever really resolved it. So
Yeah.
I feel like even if they're not going to admit it, maybe they're not conscious of it. I think that's fueling part of their, we already don't really trust her and like her. And this is just giving us more reason not to.
Yeah. She's giving them ammo for, yeah. But I didn't consider them haters for that.
I didn't either. No.
So,
Everybody's a hater if you say one negative thing, apparently.
right.
Raven just
Right.
doesn't know what the fuck she's doing. That's part of the
Right.
goddamn problem. She just doesn't know what she's
Right.
doing. Like 90% of these people. So we do get to elimination time. I didn't like sit there and take count of who voted for whom. It came down to
Yeah, I didn't
Chauncey.
either. Right.
Yeah. He decides, I'm gonna call out James. The biggest motherfucker there. That's not Corey Lay. And the game itself is like I consider it a giant version of Light Bright Tic-Tac-Toe.
That's exactly what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well, I
don't
guess-
disagree with his choice.
Yeah.
Because
It almost
who
worked
else-
in his favor.
It almost worked in his favor. Yeah.
I think
It
Chauncey's
didn't work
only
in his favor,
problem-
but it almost did.
I think his only problem was he wasn't as strategic as James
Yeah.
At first, yeah. He
I think-
finally
Yeah.
figured it out.
It took
because it
him
was a
too
bad
long.
start.
Mhm.
If he had figured it out in the first round, he would have won hands down because James gassed so easily.
So
He
fast.
wouldn't have been able to keep up. But like, who
Mhm.
else could he have gone against that he thought he could beat in this? Probably nobody.
No, he made the right move. I'm gonna give him
Yeah.
that. For sure.
It just
Trying
didn't
to
work out for
think.
him.
I think honestly, he might have had a good chance against Kieran.
You think?
I mean, unless Kieran would have figured out strategy really quick. Because I mean, Kieran's in shape.
I know, but I don't think Kieran's dumb. I think he's smart. I think he would have figured out where he
The
needed to put stuff,
strategy.
and he's quick.
I don't really know enough of these players to really like get a good read on what, especially because most of them have only done one season.
True.
So it's like kind of hard to get a read on what, like you would think that James would have blown him out of the water. That motherfucker, like Melissa was like, all right, obviously you are not going to be any good in a final. I hope I don't have to partner with you.
So I would keep him around if I was a dude.
Yeah.
I
If
would
I was a
keep him
dude,
in.
I'd keep him around. If you need to, let him go into elimination, maybe take some people out using his brawn. Keep his ass around. If I was Emmanuel and like Asaph and Jay, who are leaner and
Yeah.
quicker and have good endurance, I would want to keep him around because he's gonna end up like Zach at the going up a mountain peak.
Yeah.
I'm dying, Laurel. Help me. Yeah, I'd keep him around for that too. So it comes really, really close after the end of 3 rounds. The points, it was literally 18-17 James.
Yeah.
It was so close.
So close.
If Chauncey had done a slightly better job at strategizing for round 1, he would have definitely won because James gassed out so fucking hard. He like
For sure.
was barely holding on. I mean, the third round, he was outperformed by Chauncey. Oh, that was Leroy. Don't mind him. Just wants my attention, my dog. But yeah, so that's the end of episode 2. I didn't really get to see any previews because now that's on MTV, my DVR cuts off right at the credits. Did anybody else get previews?
I watched them. I don't remember what's gonna happen. I don't remember. We'll find out next week.
The 5 seconds I got, it was like Corey Lay talking about people betraying people. That's like all I got. And they were like in some funky looking car things.
Oh,
and going around in a circle.
he makes some comment like he had been lying to Melissa and Big T just to get
oh
just to get info from them.
And he tells
I don't know what
them.
that's about.
And doesn't he say it
like,
to them?
We
Yeah,
don't
he
know.
does.
It looks like it's a
the
whole
edit,
group
at
of
least.
people, but who knows? Who knows?
And I'm sorry.
It's editing.
Why the fuck
Yeah.
would you tell anybody that? The only people you should tell that is production in a confessional.
There's got to be a reason. Corey's not
Well,
stupid. There's a reason.
no, he's not stupid, but he has a temper.
That is true. That is true. If they pushed him, he'd cave.
Yeah, I think he's a little bit of a temper, which look, girl, me too. And he's probably a little bit impatient. You know, when you play these games, it is a long con kind of game. And if you don't have the patience for it, you will blow up your own spot. Because you're going to be like, you're going to be preening like, oh my God, look at all these great things I did. And you're going to reveal all your hands when you are still not in the clear. So I can't wait to see how that falls into place. If he actually tells them he was using them for information, because you know him and Big T then like went at it or something.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
We know through social media things were not going well, and I'm wondering if this is what it's stemming from. But I can't wait to see it, and they better fucking show it.
We'll see. I hope we get to see everything. I hope they don't cut it all out.
Me too.
Yeah.
Same here.
Dog's trying to eat a dryer sheet.
Oh my gosh.
She picks up everything.
I'm about to go eat. I'm hungry.
Yeah. All right. Anything else that we want to add to this, guys?
I do want to add one thing. It's something I saw on Twitter from Amber B, actually, where she was talking about watching the episode and seeing how many of her friends, screwed over Chauncey.
I saw that.
Excuses. So I was like, oh, that's not going to end well for people in future seasons. if another champ is going to come after them, good luck.
That's true.
Yeah. True.
They all get so butthurt. It's like, it always fair in love worn challenges. I'm like, look, Chauncey dug his own fucking grave. You don't go in there.
You can be
outside the
friends,
game, of course. But in the game, if you're gonna sit there and be like, well, did I ever wrong you? And every single person's like, yeah, actually, and it was just last season. Like, and then they're gonna put it out on blast for all the people who didn't know you played like that last season. So now you went from 4 people you did wrong and nobody trusts you.
She's gotta stand up for her man.
Which I respect it.
I respect that. I would do the same thing. In private, I'd be like, babe, why the fuck did you have to say that?
Why did you do that? Right.
I need you to get past 2 episodes, please, without me.
Right.
He's never gonna come talk to us.
No.
I didn't say that.
Not if he listens to this.
No.
Unless he's gonna be like a Polly and be like, let me change your mind. I mean, as a person, he seems lovely. I'm sure he's lovely, but on this show,
I think with Chauncey, maybe there's more to it than what we saw as well.
Also possible.
Right?
That's true.
It's very true. You know they don't like to show us shit.
He loves his baby girl. So.
He does. As he should.
What? To be fair to him too, TJ literally said at the end, I hope to see you again soon. So like
He did. That's true.
So that should be a good sign.
Yeah. I don't dislike Chauncey.
No, I like him. I think he's a nice guy.
Yeah,
I just don't. I think he made some boneheaded moves.
Yeah. I almost wonder if he's a little bit socially awkward. Because this is a very social environment. If you're not used to having to navigate, especially this many personalities, it can be very overwhelming, I imagine.
And I think it must have been tougher without Amber B.
Yeah. Right? And this was like right after their baby was born.
And a newborn.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a lot on your plate.
Yeah. That's a lot of pressure.
I'm thinking about it, and it's like, okay, when he was there with Amber on Ride or Dies, they were able to like lean on each other.
Yeah,
game,
she was a
right?
buffer. Mhm.
And as she's not there, of course it's going to be tougher on him, right? So
Yeah.
how's
Well,
he going to navigate in this game, especially with all these people who aren't making the best moves themselves?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's like
well,
we
and
can't really sit, we can't
you've
really
got
sit and say, Chauncey, yeah, you made crappy moves. Okay. But did everybody else make better moves in only 2
Mhm.
episodes? I don't think so.
Yeah. I mean, you've got Amber's not there, and you have the newborn at home. That's a lot. I mean,
It's a lot of pressure.
yeah.
Yeah. And I think he put some pressure on himself because he kept talking about how Amber's a champ. And I'm like, you can't put that on yourself, because then you overthink it. And when you overthink things is when you tend to falter. So we'll see if
Right.
we see Chauncey on a future season. I did like this episode. I wasn't a huge fan of the elimination, but they have to have equalizers. And they're probably saving all the good shit for when the champs show up anyway.
Hopefully.
Probably.
That's probably what's going to be. So anybody want to add anything else before we wrap this up?
Nope. Ready for the next episode.
Yes, same. So it premieres on MTV's on Wednesdays. I think it's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is not airing on Paramount Plus the next day like it did when it was on CBS, which makes me sad because I love the unedited versions when it comes to the language. They can drop all the
And no
F-bombs they want.
commercials.
No commercials. I have to sit there and fast forward through them on Hulu. But it's okay. At least it comes on at a decent time. So if you are not following us, we are on Instagram, The Challenge Unbothered. YouTube is The Unbothered Podcast. And obviously on Facebook, we are The Challenge Unbothered. We are a spoiler group. So do not join
Yes,
our
we
group if you
are.
don't want spoilers. And then don't come into the comments and complain that it's a
We
spoiler
know
group.
who wins this season.
We know everything, kind of.
But we'll keep it
Sort of.
quiet on the podcast.
Yeah, we try to keep it as under wraps, and we'll try to remember to say spoiler alert if we're going to talk about something that might be a little spoilery. So that is pretty much it. Thanks everybody for joining us. Tia, Theo, Caitlin, I am Nadine. Thank you for joining the Unbothered Podcast. We'll catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.